Happy Valentine's Day, everyone! I've had a lot of beloved game franchises that are close to my heart since the age of about 4 or so. Some games that are just undeniably satisfying or explorative or emotionally investing, and sometimes just ones that are really well created. Each and every one of us has a favourite game, or even a few favourite games, which really sculpt and define who we are as gamers and set the preferences and tastes and dispositions that really make us who we are when we concern ourselves with playing games in our future and new releases. But every once in a while there is a game that grips the world by storm. Sometimes games like Halo, sometimes games like Metal Gear Solid, or other games like Journey or Minecraft, and there are a lot of trendsetters and games that in particular really define a generation or define a set of gamers for a particular time or preference. And one of the most important and titanic of these games is Pokémon. There was a Charizard on here. I played it a lot. And due to the fact that games like Pokémon Red and Blue, Yellow and even Green, in Japan at least, are having a reboot and a re-release on the 3DS console, I thought it was about time I talked about one of the most important games of my childhood, and probably a lot of you out there. So let's boot it up.
Pokémon is a rare breed of gaming. I fondly remember getting my hands on a copy in late '99 after initially playing a copy of Pokémon Blue. Europe and the UK got the game 3 years after Japan and a year after America, so in the lofty days of pre-internet gaming, it was a strange breath of fresh air. Within weeks, months maybe, of the game's release, Pokémon was everywhere. It stoked the imaginations of children all across the world with the premise of catching monsters, trading them with your friends and fighting your foes with a team of your choosing. Not only could you make your own customized squad of badass creatures, but you could also collect them, learn their backstory and show off to your friends your most recent adventures and accomplishments. You start the game as a wide-eyed youth ready to undertake a rite of passage into adulthood. In this game, at the age of 8, 10 maybe, the children are given the ability to capture the indigenous creatures that roam the wilderness in order to train them to fight trainers, defend their master and create bonds of friendship. Although thinking about it, there's not too much nobility in entrapping and imprisoning innocent creatures and forcing them to compete in blood sports, but we start off trying to leave our hometown and are stopped by a doddery old man known as Professor Oak. He warns us that it is unsafe to travel the world of Kanto without Pokémon to defend ourselves from the wilderness and people dotted throughout the land, and kindly provides us with one of 3 Pokémon to choose to become our first companion in our epic quest. Now everyone's different when picking from starter Pokémon. You get a grass type, a fire type or a water type. Most people pick either Charmander or Squirtle because, let's face it, Bulbasaur becomes kinda useless less than halfway through the game. And although most people argue that Charmander is the best Pokémon of the 3, let me set the record straight. Charmander looks cool, but is weak to rocks, water and lightning. Blastoise is weak to grass and lightning. Plus he has 2 cannons on his back, a huge array of moves he can learn, and anyway, he's a beast. Okay, let's get on with this before I offend all the Pokémon fans who cried while watching Charizard Chills on the TV series. Let's talk adventure. So the goal in Pokémon is threefold. First, you need to make your Pokémon stronger. It's your job as the trainer to, train a team of Pokémon capable of overcoming any rival team in the world of Kanto. Second, you'll need to earn the Gym Leader badges and take on the Elite Four, the best Pokémon trainers in the land. And third, you gotta catch 'em all. This design was ingenious because you really did have so much content to sink your teeth into. On the one hand, creating, altering and leveling your very own A-team of monsters was extremely satisfying. However, a lot of the fun stemmed from exploring every inch of the world in order to find that rare or exotic Pokémon you've been looking high and low for, and with the inclusion of the legendary Pokémon, the game's difficulty worked perfectly to push you to do the best you could. The world is full of colourful and interesting characters, some of which give you free items and advice, some of which help you find your way in your quest, and some which tell you tales of the world you inhabit, and some who want to, test your might. We even get to face off against the first and best criminal organisation in Pokémon history, if not gaming history, Team Rocket. When playing this game, you felt your expertise grow and yet flourish further. You'd beat Brock, the first gym leader of the game, and you'd think you were the king, only to be pushed to your limits with Cerulean City's gym leader Misty. Every player had or has their own trials which are harder to tackle than others due to the nature of crafting unique teams of fighters. Everyone who's played Pokemon has their own tale of that one gym leader they struggled to beat, or that one Pokemon who just wouldn't stay in the Ultra Ball. Get in the... prick. Anyways, as you progress the expansive yet linear world of Kanto, you'll take on gym leaders in each major town, catch Pokemon on the way, learn abilities to clear obstructions in your path, and occasionally face off against your Pallet Town rival, Blue, or Gary, or, well, he has many names. I called him Polio. Your rival is essentially the only person close enough to be your equal, or if you let him, your superior. And I can tell you from my experience hearing horror stories in the playground as a youth of how someone whited out in a battle at Lavender Town because they weren't expecting him to have a level 22 Gyarados up its sleeve, or even at the Elite Four, they just couldn't best his starting Pokemon. Because let's face it, most people chose Charmander and had to fight Blastoise at the end. And did I mention that
Blastoise is a beast?
I never had too much trouble with Polio myself, but then again, I came prepared. Also, in order to finish the game, players couldn't do it alone. At the time, link cables allowed players to, link their Gameboys together and trade Pokemon found indigenously in their cartridge, which would be inaccessible to other players. Pokemon even evolved into some of the most powerful evolutions in the game due to trading, and at the heart of it, cooperation and friendly rivalries made the game portable, social, and engaging. I know I'm going to sound like an old man saying this, but young gamers today will never experience these games, or really any games like this ever again. In the advent of internet and Wi-Fi compatibility across multiple platforms and devices, the simple charms of tracking down someone willing to trade you that Magmar you so desperately needed and linking Gameboys in person as you chat about your own team, goals and adventures is lost to the past. Kinda makes me a little sad. So when you topple all the gym leaders, catch a bunch of Pokemon and have nothing left to do, there's only one place left to go. The Elite Four. The four most powerful trainers all in one place, in succession, with no way of retreat, without forfeit. This crucible of skill was something I'd never seen in a video game before, and even to this day, that moment when I'm ready to storm Victory Road with my new team of underdogs always makes me grin. You feel like a true hero, a young kid once dreaming of glory in his bedroom and embarking on a journey of epic proportions now stands near the summit of the world, ready to take on the very best. And then just when you think you're done, just when you think you've become the champion of Kanto, one final trial stands in your way. Polio. This battle is iconic in gaming. The music, your rival's new imposing stature, his team of fearsome opponents, two young boys clashing in battle to prove themselves men, and not just that, champions. The first time I fought Polio, the hairs on my arms were standing up.
Yeah, I was a pretty mature kid. Moustache at the age of 12, voice broke at the age of 10, balls drop at the age of 12.
My team was battered, bruised and low on PP. It was like a battle of chess between two masters, steady, careful, precise and burdening. Yet as the clashes between Nidoking and Pidgeot, Electabuzz and ALAKAZAM, Blastoise and Venusaur came to blows, I won the battle. The elderly man who started my adventure approached the arena, congratulating me on my victory. My Pokemon were etched in history as the champions of Kanto, and I stood proud over my accomplishments. All the trainers in the land had been bested, and I had the mightiest team of all time, yet entries in my Pokédex were still unfilled, and a greater power lurked in a cave not far from Cerulean City. Man, this game encompasses such an important part of my life. It taught me so many things, sharing, exploring, conquering impossible odds and making friends. It's no wonder it's so highly regarded in gaming culture's psyche. And although I myself retired from playing new Pokemon entries at the release of Pokemon X and Y, due to getting fed up of the stretched thin approach to design and lack of new ideas besides graphics, I'm always up for playing this game. I remember being the first in my school to get a level 100 Pokemon, my Blastoise who I'd fought through thick and thin with. Then one day I clumsily forgot how when you trade in a new game, you override your save data, as I traded starting Pokemon with my sister to bolster her team as she got her own copy of Pokemon Blue. Then I remember restarting my game and getting my Blastoise back to level 100, and then dabbling with the Missingno virus and losing my second level 100 Pokemon team. I learned that even when things go well, it can be gone in an instant. And to truly be happy, you need to be ready to lose the things you care about, so you have to enjoy them while they last. But I also remember when I got my first Mew from one of my friends whose brother got a ton from an event. I got 6 in total and shared them with my sister, cousin and close friends. I remember battling my rivals in the school playground and reading from my Pokemon strategy guide from the local shop across the road, which I'd scraped every penny I could find together to afford. I learned that you can always learn more than you know, and that people and their insights freshen your perspective just when you think you've mastered something.
There really is no equal to this game as far as importance to my childhood, and even though I've had other genres influence my gaming persona, such as shoot-em-ups, RPGs, platformers and all sorts of games, Pokémon is unique because there really isn't anything else like it, and don't you dare say Digimon, I'll get you. I've moved past this game in many regards. It's by no means my favourite game of all time, but it's undeniable how important it was in terms of shaping the gamer I am today. This game sparked my interest in its own card series, the anime, and all sorts of Pokémon franchise stuff. And really, we haven't seen anything similar to Pokémon in what it did for social gaming. Despite what you may think about, say, tablet games or mobile gaming, there isn't anything that comes close to Pokémon. But either way, I'm looking forward to the 20th anniversary re-release on 3DS, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Valentine's special, but if you don't mind me, I'm off to revisit Pallet Town. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Na 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 na, to catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. Oh no. Yuck. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my Valentine's special on Pokémon. I'm really looking forward to the 3DS re-release of the original games, and I hope you guys are too. By the way, just to let you know, the ending song there was by a guy called Lucas King. He does a lot of cool piano covers of video games and even has an album called Video Game Tribute Album. And I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel in the cards, and also the album and his YouTube in the description, so you guys, if you are interested, can check it out because I really like his work. But I'm also going to put a couple of videos here and here. I'm going to have Psyops, which was my last gem, about a psychic commando, and it's a really cool game for the original Xbox and PC. And I'm also going to put a video for Breakdown, my last Grizzly Gauntlet, which is again quite fun. It's for the original Xbox, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So yeah, check out Lucas King if you get a chance. I think you might like his stuff. But other than that, here are some bloopers, and happy Valentine's. Zapdos, for Christ's sake! This game sparked my interest in card games and its own series of other little Pokemon marketed games. I'm never going to get this line. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Sorry.